Hey folks, Species7 here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2013. I have that exact same watering can. Cool. We are, well, we're not in Kansas anymore. Of course, we never were. But we are, in fact, in Smithfield. Smithfield Forest, to be exact. For those of you that read my comment on the last episode from the Netherlands, you'll realize that I had a few issues. After all the weirdness with the lag, etc., etc., I thought, alright, well, maybe I've actually fixed this by advancing to the next day and getting these barn lights and such to shut off, and the vehicle lights and everything else that comes on when that happens. Unfortunately, although that did seem to help the lag a little bit, not 100%, but some, it was also the last time I was actually able to light up Farming Simulator. I went through and I pulled all the mods out to start with, and oddly enough it still wouldn't let me start up, so I pulled the soil mod, and etc., etc. Basically, the last thing I tried, I had just the map loaded. And no, it would not get past the loading screen. And just to make sure I wasn't being overly impatient, at one point I even got up, left the house, walked down to the corner store, picked a couple things I needed, and came back. Well, that takes me about a half an hour being an old gimpy booger. So, and it was still there on the loading screen. So, long story short, I completely uninstalled FS 2013, I completely scrapped all the save files, I cleaned it completely off my computer. And then I thought, well, what are we going to play? So, I did a review of this map about a month ago, I think. In fact, if you look in my playlist of map reviews, you will find Smithfield Forest as one of them. And I was quite intrigued by it. One of the things that intrigued me was this. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of green. But you'll notice when I change to fruit types, oh yeah, that's still a whole bunch of green. There's only 5 fields out of darn near 30 that are actually prepped as fields. Everything else is grass. So I thought that was kind of neat, because we can take, like, field 7 is the only one we own that is a prepped field. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not going to go that way. We will do like they did, or tried to, I'm sorry, like they tried to do in Agricultural Simulator 2013. So this is our field here. We'll cut our own fields. So this one, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to plant this guy up in corn, and this is going to be our silage field. So, map door trigger is required on this map. So, let's take a trip down to the cow barn, but I don't really want to walk. We're just going to quickly zip back up to the house. Collisions on hedges are off. Okay. Fences, gates, fence posts, that sort of thing, trees are on. So, whereas I can come through here. If I come through where there's actually a fence, you'll see it stops me dead. Same thing. Gates, you need to have map door trigger, guys. Now, we are going to start with some rather smaller equipment, right? I've got my Kubota, of course. I have here kind of an interesting little bugger. Don't know, maybe Russian. I believe it's an MTZ. So, yeah. Then we got a nice little Ford dual wheelie here. Got a little tiny John Deere. I always get a kick out of this one. There's just something about the square hubcap in a round wheel that, yeah, just, I don't know. There's something weird about that. And a nice little round baler back here. It's a nicely set up farm. Here's where we dump our crops, of course. And the silos are on the other side. We got a little tiny John Deere front loader. We got an IH. Those are our big tractors, by the way. The IH and the Ford. Chickens, etc., etc. But what I actually want to do here is hop on the bike they've redone this mod. This is actually the Forest version of this bike, and you'll notice we're packing some different gear in the sidecar than we used to. It does also come with the trailer, so excuse me ladies, mad biker coming through. Yeah, make the worst of it, boy. Get around all these chickens. There we go. Now we can take a little zip up to the cow barn. So this is just going to be a bit of a sort of looky-loo episode. We'll have a look at different things. Over here, come to a stop. Alrighty, so we're going to stop here and have a look at our first storage shed. I actually had to go and deal with one of my darn cats yet again. I love him to death. I have 2 Manx cats. One really old bugger and one sort of middle-aged fella that's still quite spunky, but they know how to push Dad's buttons. I'm sleeping all afternoon in the chairs. As soon as I come in here to record, I get all of a couple minutes into it. And here's our harvester. Here's our tipper truck. An old Zeal. And here is our supply truck, so we don't have to drive into town every time we want ferts and stuff. Kind of neat, eh? It's an old Land Cruiser. Here's our corn head. Again, not very big, but... And I can't emphasize enough, do remember to include an installation of map door trigger. Alright, so that's just a little storage shed that we have. You can also get in around the back of it through here. You know, I actually left the gate open. Probably shouldn't do that. And then in through this gate, which I've also left open. So we have a little bit of a log cutting area here. Not quite sure what the idea was. I don't think any of these... No, these are all deciduous trees, the ones that come with the forest mod are, of course, all coniferous. There's our water truck. Here's our tipper trailer that we can use for both silage and wood chips. Get myself out of the ditch here. And we'll continue on over to the cow farm. I should close these gates behind me and get into the habit of doing that. Oh, here, yeah, we can have a look at this. Pretty cool, eh? It's not a bad mod. I think it's kind of odd. It almost looks a bit small. It feels kind of right when you're on it, but it does look a little small. So, but yeah, nice detailing. Nicer than it was last time, anyway. Unfortunately, the gear shifter always stays in neutral. Yeah. Although oddly enough, the speedometer actually works. I don't think that works. No. I've noticed on some maps they allow you to hit that trigger while you're on a vehicle. This one doesn't. Also, another important tip that the mod author gives you is do not sell a vehicle if you're sitting on it. Yeah, for some reason that ends up screwing up the map door trigger. Yeah, who knew? So there's no soil mod in here, but I'm thinking the soil mod was kind of like the forest mod. It still needs a little work. Not to mention on the map we were on, I think it was pretty much busted. One of my viewers was also, or subscribers I should say, was also playing on that map and ended up quitting it a couple of days ago. And running into the same sort of issues I was. It just seemed the further you went, the buggier it got. So, that's kind of neat. What did I do? Oh! Really? Okay, I'm not sure what's up with that, but okay. Cool. Here's our cow shed. Our milk machine. Here we've got our slurry tank, our manure spreader, etc., etc. It is really neatly laid out. There's our slurry. And then up here, when you bung out the cows, you simply drop her down there. So it's kind of cool. Again, all these gates do open. So But we will get a chance to investigate the entire map as we move along here. It is a pretty cool map, all in all. Oh, this is actually, I think, no, there is a road past here. So yeah, there are several areas that are opened up for forestry. I believe there are some trees planted, so it's kind of cool. So again, I think I should have had that particular gate closed, eh? Yeah, there we go. It's not a bad way to get around that little bike, actually. Get a good view. Indeed. And all of these gates lead into fields. So we can have a quick look at our map here. There you go. And, yeah. So you can see, like I said, almost all of it is still done up in grass. And I just think that's pretty cool. Because we can get ourselves a decent little plow going on, and we can make all the fields we want. Now, one kind of weird thing is where our vehicles come in. If you decide that you don't want to drive them back from the shop, and I will grant you it is a ways off, although this is not a big map, so all things are relative, and a ways off isn't all that far. They don't appear here in the farmyard, which is a good thing, I guess, because she has a pretty tight little yard. I mean, basically, here it is. Okay, this is our farmyard. That's why I really like it that they put that extra shed just around the corner. Alright, because other than that, well, we've got our house. We have a tiny bit of storage there. I'm pretty sure that we're supposed to dump probably potatoes there by the look of it. But yeah, your machinery, it's going to spawn out here. Now the reason this is still sitting here is because it has a rather odd thing going on. It's the only thing that this will sit comfortably behind is the harvester. So, I wasn't aware of that. I already moved the harvester. And then I came back and I tried all of the tractors that we have. And what happens is the hitch is a little bit lower, so it forces it down on this wheel, and it causes the whole thing to bounce around erratically. It's also not a terribly, so you can see, we can actually budget. It's not a terribly stable little trailer. So I might have to bring one in from a different harvester mod. But, hey ladies, that's another gate I should probably be getting used to closing. There we go. So yeah, this is where we're going to be spending our next little while, guys. As I say, I don't think we'll be able to get into really huge equipment. Certainly not right off, and probably not for quite a while. So, but that's alright. It is quite a nice map. So, I was watching TCGG's Rob there. I'm sure all of you that do watch Farming Simulator videos know who he is. But he did his top 10 maps, and oddly enough, the map I just gave up on because it killed my game and messed up some other people's as well, made number 10 on his list. I think he probably should have played it for a few more episodes and let it build up its nastiness. So, but anyway, I'm just going to go for a quick cruise here, just to, you know, nice sunny day, got the bike, might as well go for a bit of a yick. And next time around, guys, we'll start some serious farming here. So, until then, let's go down to the booty and have a quick beer. I don't actually drink, but, you know, I guess it sounds good when you're doing the farming thing. Stop for the afternoon and have a quick beer. kind of an ideal little runabout vehicle for these tight little roads. It goes pretty quick. Or at least you get the illusion of going pretty quick. We're only doing 25, most of my tractors. Well, most of the ones we use in series with bigger fields will do considerably quicker than that. So, wow, long drive down from the pub. I wonder how many people end up in the creek going home. So, yeah, anyway, guys, next time around, we'll get started with some actual farming. Till then, sorry the last map didn't work out. I will go back to the soil mod. Well, that's what I was going to tell you guys. This is the forest. The reason I've gone to a forest map, well, one of the reasons, they released a new version of the forestry mod. Okay? And some of the things that they've explained that they've changed and fixed sounded pretty darn good. So we will be looking at that again. So, but until then, this has been Species 7. If y'all liked the episode, please leave a like, leave a share, a favorite, all that happy stuff. Till next time, guys. Oh yeah, these are these, they have cover plates over them. Check this out. Yeah. Till next time, this has been Species 7 for Farming Simulator. We're on Smithfield Forest Farm. Take care of each other, guys, and ciao for now.